record. So newbie mistake is not hitting record. I'm gonna go ahead and hit record now so that other people, if they want, can like check this out, right? So of course I'll send a recording to you guys as well. So these are the people, right? These are the people who this is for. Now, oh, apparently I don't know how to use my controls. All right, there we go. Throughout this masterclass, you will learn how to empower your graphic designers with essential resources such as the latest design software, stock photography libraries, and asset management platforms. You'll also discover like the perfect time management strategies that will help you optimize your in-house staff's output without compromising on quality. And then lastly, we'll dive into creating the perfect creative brief, and that is the foundation of a successful event and successful event visuals. What is this event about? And by the end of this masterclass, you will have the knowledge and tools to streamline your event design process, improve the quality of your visuals, and optimize creative, memorable events that make attendees like happy. Like, wait, happy? Yanique, what does that even mean? So I was actually at IMX last week, and one of the biggest things that were pointed out was in order to get your attendees to actually take the desired action, we have to speak to their emotion first. And what's the emotion that we all tend to function from in terms of like, this thing makes me happy, I want this, right? But then there's some other emotions as well, where it's like optimistic, curious. So we definitely want to create the event visuals that make our attendees feel things. So in the world where visual assets become like increasingly important component of marketing strategies, it's crucial to prioritize design in order to exceed your business goals. If you agree with me, put one in the chat. I need to talk to people. This is how I function, right? Okay, I got a one. All right, I'll take it. With the tips and best practices shared in this masterclass, you will have the tools to do exactly that. So you are ready to revolutionize your corporate events. Are you ready? I don't know. Are you guys ready? Tell me you're ready, guys. Let me know. Tell me you're ready. Tell me something. All right. Okay, so before we get started, maybe introducing myself will be nice. I am Yanique DaCosta. I am the owner and creative director of YKMD. I have been working in the events graphic design industry for about 13 plus years, and I am excited to share my knowledge and insights with you today. So as an expert in the field, I understand that there are challenges that event marketers and planners face when it comes to creating impactful event visuals that like really captivate their attendees, right? And that's why I've created this masterclass to help you set your graphic designers up for success and transform your events into unforgettable experiences. So again, during this masterclass, I will share practical tips and best practices that I have acquired throughout my career. And I hope that by the end of this masterclass, you will have the tools and knowledge to empower your graphic designers and create show-stopping events that let you blow your companies out of the water, or clients, depending on, who you are and how you do it. So let's get started. So why is it that graphic designs are important? So like, is it even a thing, right? Does anybody know? No, maybe. If you know, just put 3 in the chat. I'll take that. You don't actually have to tell me why. All right. I'm going to drop some facts on you real quick. So did you know that events that incorporate high quality graphic designs and visual elements generate 20% more lead than those without? So I've actually shared this. I talked about this a little bit on my LinkedIn lives. I actually think I talked about it specifically yesterday on a LinkedIn live. But according to the Event Marketing Institute, this means that if you want to have a successful event, you need to make sure that your graphics and visuals are on point. So not only that, but good design can also help you exceed your business goals and generate more leads. When your event visuals like look great, people are more likely to remember your brand and engage with your content. This means that you'll be more likely to become the place where the customers actually want to show up, or the business that the customers actually recommend to others. And I mean, as we know, having more customers means more business success, right? Then I got some more facts for you. According to the Content Marketing Institute, 65% of marketers say that visual assets are a key component of their marketing strategy. And I mean, as stated by Adobe, companies that prioritize design are more than twice as likely, pretty much that's twice as likely to exceed their business goals than companies that don't, right? There's also actually a survey by Canva where they're talking about like 95% of respondents prefer great looking design. So this is a slide where, you know, at YKMD, we've had the privilege of working with some of the more amazing brands like Apple, the NFL, Under Armour, Marriott, and more. By working with these brands, we've established our credibility and expertise in graphic design with corporate events. We've seen firsthand how great event visuals can help with these companies and help them succeed. And having great event visuals is crucial for having event visuals is crucial for success of their event. So by prioritizing design and creating high quality graphics and visual elements, you can generate more leads, create a memorable event experience, and ultimately exceed your business goals. Does that make sense for everybody? Like maybe not. Yes, voice and brand image. Absolutely. Oh, so these are some the other examples that we have within the company of just like work that we've done. So in this section, right, we're going to talk about how to empower your graphic designers with essential resources to succeed. First of all, it's important to understand that graphic designers need a variety of tools to create impactful event visuals. This includes the latest design software, stock photo libraries, and asset management platforms. By having access to these resources, your graphic designers can work more efficiently and effectively. For design software, there are many options available, including, you know, Adobe Creative Suite. That's the one that everybody does. Oh, I know how to use Photoshop, Canva and Figma. Each of these has their own unique features and benefits. So it's important to choose the one that best suits your team's needs. But it's not just about having these resources. It's also important to know how to make the most of them. For example, when using design software, it's important to know the basics of design principles, such as like color theory, typography, and layout. And I mean, if you have a designer in-house, or if you're hiring a designer as a contractor, that's the very least they should know how to do. Color theory, typography, and layout. Write that down. If you don't have a pen and paper, I will give you a couple seconds to go get a pen and paper. But what you need to be writing down is color theory, typography, and layout. If they don't know that, it's not the right designer for you. I promise you. Now, by understanding these principles, your graphic designers can create visually appealing event visuals that are both aesthetically pleasing and effective. In addition to design software, there is stock photo libraries, and they are also important for creating impactful event visuals. So these libraries offer a wide variety of high quality photos that your graphic designers can use to enhance your event visuals. When using stock photo libraries, it's important to choose photos that are relevant to your event and to your brand. Now, this means selecting images that actually match your color scheme and your style guide, and that really evoke the right emotions for your audience. So I don't know how familiar you guys may be with this, but in addition to some of the ones that people already know. Let me go back to these for you. Ooh. Oh, okay. I just love when my slides are like fun and like movable. Anyway, in addition to like the ones that people don't know, some of like the really popular ones are Shutterstock, iStock, and then Unsplash, right? And these are libraries that offer like a wide variety of high quality photos that your graphic designers can use to enhance your event visuals. And when using these stock photo libraries, it's important to choose photos that are relevant to your event and your brand. This means selecting images that match your color scheme again and style and brand guidelines. But the ones that really, I feel like, make a complete difference is the ones that really resonate with your culture, right? So having culturally diverse imagery kind of like hits home for me. I feel like you can set your design team up for success, but if they don't have images that really resonate with your audience, there's going to be a disconnect, right? So here are some of the ones that are just a little bit more niche. So Nappy is a collection of high quality, royalty-free stock photos. And it features, Black and brown people. Then there is Create Her Stock, and it's a collection of free and premium stock photos featuring Black women. Then there is Pexels. It's a free stock photo site that offers a wide range of diverse images. So not necessarily just Black or female, but like it crosses the entire spectrum. And even though, again, that's a really important thing for me, it's still important to note that while you're like on these sites that feature diverse images, it's important to select images that are authentic and authentically a representation of your brand. I don't know, 2020, I feel like everybody just like found a Black person and stuck it on the screen and they were like, yes, this is how we do this. And for me, it was just like, oh, this is not how we do this. Anywho, so that's just my POV on it. Take it with a grain of salt. So asset management. We're moving on to that. Asset management platforms are a great way to organize and streamline your design assets. You're like, okay, that seems redundant, but no. Okay, so some of the popular ones include Binder, Widen, Extensis Portfolio, Dropbox. I use Dropbox, love it. Box, love Box. So Binder is a comprehensive digital asset management, or like people just call them like DAM. You'll hear me talk about like DAM throughout. I'm not cursing, I promise. It's just an acronym. And it's a platform that allows designers to easily store, organize, and share their digital assets. So Binder offers like a range of features, including automatic file conversions, advanced search capabilities, and user permissions and access controls, which is really important if you're talking about like sending this to the printer, sending this back to a client, maybe sending it to some internal stakeholders. And then, of course, there is Widen Collective. It's another popular DAM platform that offers a range of features, including workflow management, digital rights management, integrations with other software tools. And then Widen Collective is known for its user-friendly interface and customizable branding options, which, if you are working within like a larger corporate company, that could be really handy. But then also if you're a smaller business and you kind of want to like, flex a little bit, have everybody be familiar with your brand, I think it's also a really great thing to take advantage of. Then there is Extensis Portfolio. It's also a really powerful DAM platform that offers advanced features such as facial recognition, like AI tagging, metadata management, and I know like that's like all the rage right now. And so Extensis Portfolio also offers integrations with popular design tools. So all the design tools I mentioned earlier in terms of like Adobe Creative Cloud. And so that makes it really easy to access using like within the existing workflows without having to like jump in and out of the actual file storage system, which can be a little difficult for people. So then, of course, there's Dropbox, and Dropbox is a cloud-based file storage, and it allows you to collaborate with a wide range of features, including, automatic syncing across devices, file sharing and collaboration, integrations with popular softwares, of course. If Adobe doesn't let you integrate something, you probably shouldn't use it. It's probably not doing that great. Anywho, so then there's of course Box, right? We talked about that earlier, another cloud-based file storage system, and allows you to do a lot of collaboration, and that offers features such as workflow automation, file sharing, and collaboration, and user permissions and access controls. So Box also offers integrations with like popular platforms, Microsoft Office, Google Workspace. So it has like a little bit of a wider range. I know a lot of corporations really lean on Box more than anything else. So if I were you, I'd definitely look into that. It's a little pricier than the other options. But a lot of reasons why people love using Box within corporations is because of the permissions controls, and then the ability to really to hone in on how things are encrypted and like locked up, like they can keep the state secrets to themselves, which again is like super great. All right, so by using asset management platforms, your team can easily access and share design assets, making collaboration easier and more efficient, not just with designers, but with you, with the printer, with the hotel production, with the signage people. It just makes it make more sense versus housing them on an internal server that you can't really just share with external vendors. It's not a thing, like that's a security risk, right? So another part that is really, really relevant. So I actually got this from one of my friends. He like literally has this diagram in his onboarding documents for his team members, and he's the one who I really got like my way of like folding it into my business. I think I've used a whole bunch of different ways to do it over the years, but I think this one is pretty great. So when you're using asset management platforms, it's important to establish clear naming conventions and folder structures. And this will help your team find and use design assets more easily and ensure that everyone is on the same page when it comes to design and design assets. What's already done, what's final, what's work in progress, like how do you know? You have to keep the naming conventions of the file uniform. So all of this is great, but none of it will mean anything if your team doesn't know how to properly use the tools, right? So most companies have like virtual live onboarding or a library of resources that can teach you how to properly use their products. However, I recommend doing two things in addition to that. Getting your team a subscription to LinkedIn Learning, and sending your graphic designer to one virtual or in-person conference per year that helps them to get up to speed on the latest and greatest design software, stock photo libraries, and asset management platforms. Empowering your graphic designers with the right resources is crucial for creating impactful event visuals. So by providing the latest design software, stock photo libraries, and asset management platforms, you get them access to, well, and also getting them access to the user guidelines or some of the onboarding training, you get to know how to make, you get them in a position to utilize the resources the best way they can. You can ensure that your event visuals will be appealing, effective, and memorable because they have access to all the things that they actually need to make that happen, right? Yes, no, maybe so. All right, so that's all good and gravy, but sometimes people complain about how designers are just like, they miss deadlines, they're flaky, we don't know what to do with that. Like, how do you help your designers manage their time? Time management is one of the most critical factors in event planning and graphic design for corporate events. So as event marketers and planners, you need to manage your time effectively to ensure that your event visuals are completed on time and to a high standard. Sometimes Sometimes you're faced with an emergency, right? Emergency projects and last minute changes that require you to work on tight deadlines. In such situations, right, time management becomes even more important to ensure that everything is completed, again, on time. Like time. So, how can you effectively manage your time and your designer's time in emergency situations? One of the most useful time management strategies in emergency projects is to assess the situation and prioritize tasks accordingly. This means identifying the most critical tasks that require immediate attention and completing them first. By focusing on the most important tasks, you can ensure that everything is completed on time and the event runs smoothly. Another really essential strategy is to communicate effectively with your team and stakeholders. This means making sure that everyone is aware of the situation and what needs to be done to resolve it. By keeping everyone informed, you can ensure that everyone is working towards the same goal and that no one is wasting time on tasks that are no longer necessary or are no longer valid or just outdated. Our team uses a project management platform called Asana to keep our team and any additional stakeholders fully informed about a project's progress. We also hold recurring touchpoint meetings to make sure everyone is understanding project movement effectively. In addition to these strategies, it's essential to be flexible. You're like, wait, but Yanique, you just told me that I need, just stick with me, okay? You have to be flexible and adaptable in emergency situations. This means being willing to change your plans and adjust your priorities as needed. By staying flexible, you can respond to changes quickly and effectively, which can help you complete the project on time, right? But what about managing time in general, right? As mentioned earlier, prioritizing tasks is an effective time management strategy to optimize your in-house staff's output without compromising quality. This means making a list of all the tasks that are needed to be completed and deciding which ones are most important and need to be completed first. By prioritizing your tasks, you can make sure that the most important tasks are completed on time and you're not wasting time on tasks that can wait till later, right? Like, this doesn't take 5 people to approve. This doesn't need to go to print production so it can get hung up and staged. No, and this is going up on a banner ad, and all we're gonna do is click. It takes 3 seconds. That can be towards the end of your list. Another important time management strategy is to delegate responsibilities to your team, and this means assigning tasks to team members who are best suited to complete them. The design by committee vibes will never be to your biggest like it'll be your detriment, right? By delegating responsibilities, you can ensure that each team member is working on tasks that they are skilled at and that they enjoy, which can help boost productivity and morale. Like, don't have your graphic designer working on like production things. And if you don't know the difference between that, we can talk about that in another masterclass. But a designer is a designer, a production artist is a production artist, an event planner is an event planner, event marketer is an event planner. These are all 4 different things. And having people get into the mix while someone else is trying to do their thing is not the most productive way to move forward. Finally, it's important to use your time effectively by minimizing distractions and focusing on tasks at hand. This means avoiding interruptions, such as checking emails or social media while you're working on tasks. And this is something that you might want to communicate with your designers as well. Like, everyone, oh, we're creative, we could just do all these things. Like, well, you need to be able to focus and hone in on what it is that you're working on. You can also use time management tools such as Pomodoro. It's a timer to help you stay focused on work and help you be more efficient with it. It's one I use. I was gonna like tell you about a couple other ones, but I think this one is pretty good. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method based on 25-minute stretches. And 25-minute stretches of focused work broken by 5-minute breaks, right? So like that's the time you can scroll through the gram. Longer breaks, typically 15 to 30 minutes, are taken after 4 consecutive work intervals. And then Google Chrome has a focus to do Pomodoro timer and a to-do list. So you can have your designers implement, but they can't actually like use it effectively if you have them in meetings every minute of the day. Like they need time to actually work to do the work. So time management is crucial, again, for event management planners who want to optimize their in-house staff's output without compromising quality. But prioritizing tasks, delegating responsibilities, and minimizing distractions, communicating effectively, and being flexible and adaptable are the things that will allow you to make sure that your event visuals are completed on time to the highest standard, even in emergency situations. Remember, time is a valuable resource, so you want to use it wisely. Crafting. Oh, I don't think my slides are matching up to what I'm saying. Anywho, we'll just talk about crafting the perfect creative brief. So crafting the perfect creative brief is an essential part of creating successful event visuals. It's the foundation that sets the direction and expectations for your design team. So without a clear and concise brief, you run the risk of miscommunication and missed opportunities. So what makes a great creative brief? Do we know? Does anybody know? If anybody knows what makes a great creative brief, please drop a 2 in the chat. Oh, okay. Wendell knows. All right, let's see if it's the same. So the first thing that needs to be clear and concise, it should be to include all the necessary information about the event, such as the theme, the potential color scheme, target audience, and brand guidelines. If you aren't working with an internal company team, like you need to get their brand guidelines. This information helps your design team understand the context of the project and what needs to be communicated through the visuals. Another important aspect of a great creative brief is specifically being specific. Specificity. It should be detailed enough to provide guidance, but not so detailed that it stifles creativity. Your brief should outline, but not be so detailed that you're like, put this here, move this here, do this here. But it should communicate the message you want to convey. It should also allow room for the design team to do their thing and to be creative and to produce innovative ideas. So at YKMD, we use a project request form. Yes, it is a fire starter. Love that. We use a project request form that includes all the necessary information for a well-crafted creative brief. This form includes questions about the event's theme, color, target audience, brand guidelines, and objectives. It also asks for the request type. So like, is it an ad, indoor banner, or a landing page? Like, what are all the things that you actually need us to create? Like, do you have the dimensions for that? What's the size? Does this design need to be? Like, we're not on our form, we actually include standard size recommendations. And then we also include some like format recommendations based on like, what is this project? And then of course, like text, what words need to be included? Your designer is not your copywriter. Your designer is your designer. They take the content, they translate that into something visually digestible, but your designer is not your copywriter. Now, it also allows us to ask more specific questions about the project to ensure that we have a complete understanding of the project's goals and requirements. So crafting a successful creative brief takes time and effort, but it's worth it. Our form makes it really quick and easy because it's like a 5-minute process, and you can create a form just like this for yourself. Whether it's for communicating with your clients or communicating with your designer, but just a way to streamline how the information actually comes over to your design team. A well-crafted creative brief can help your design team create impactful and memorable event visuals that resonate with your target audience. So don't be afraid to like share examples of like successful designs that you've used in the past or even found online. These examples can serve as a guide for your design team and provide inspiration for new and innovative ideas. It doesn't mean they're just going to get up and copy what you sent. That's not what makes an impactful event. You're basically churning out the same design over and over again. Crafting the perfect creative brief is an essential part of creating successful event visuals. Again, by following best practices and using tools like project request forms, you can ensure that your every project brief is clear, concise, and specific. And remember, a great creative brief sets the foundation for a successful design and as a result, successful event. So take the time to get it right. Well, I guess we're coming towards the end of the presentation now. And we're getting ready to move into a Q&A segment. But before we do that, let's do a quick recap of what we learned so far. We discussed the importance of great event visuals and how they can help you generate more leads and exceed your business goals. We also talked about empowering your graphic designers with essential resources such as stock photo libraries, asset management platforms that can help improve their workflow. We discussed time management strategies that can help you optimize your in-house staff's output without compromising on quality, and how to craft the perfect creative brief that effectively communicates your vision to your design team. And I want to thank you all for joining me in this masterclass. And I look forward to you sharing all of your insights and your questions. I hope that you found this session informative and that you are leaving with a new knowledge and tools that you can implement in your work, in your business, in your company. And remember, the key to success is not just having the right tools, but using them effectively. I encourage you to implement what you have learned today and apply these strategies to create unforgettable events and make a lasting impression. If you need help implementing what you've learned today, we offer a 2-hour consultation call where we can actually help you implement these strategies in your business. As a reminder, YKMD specializes in graphic design for events, and we're here to help you take your events to the next level. We understand that event planning and graphic design can be overwhelming, especially if you're trying to do both, but our team of experts is here to help. That's why I think we're offering a 90-minute consultation call to attendees of this masterclass. We want you guys to actually be able to take this information and use it. And with that, do you guys have any questions? Let's let the questions roll. I'm here for them. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask away.
Hey, Yanique, it's Kadeen. How are you?
I am fantastic, Kadeen. How are you?
I'm good. I know this masterclass was mostly about graphic design, but I want to know, do you do website too?
Yeah, so websites are a component of graphic design. It's just a different kind of graphic design.
Right.
Yes, but yeah, that's absolutely something that we do. So landing pages, we can build full-scale websites, we can build landing pages, and we feel like those are a really important component of events, but they're also just a really important component of just businesses overall. Like, where are you going to send those leads to? What is it that they actually need? Like, what are we actually putting together? How are we actually going to reach out to them? Where are we going to house the information? So the answer to the question is yes.
Okay, so we will talk off the air. If you could just send me your phone number, because obviously your phone number changed throughout the years from back
probably.
So if you could just shoot me like a private message, so
absolutely,
we can have some conversation. Okay, and I really have to go. Remember, I told you I have a consultation at 1. I have to go prep.
Yes.
So thank you for inviting me. This was
my
very
pleasure.
and I'm walking away with a lot of stuff that I didn't know. So thank you.
I'm
Appreciate
really,
you. Nice to
I'm
see you.
happy that it was helpful, and we will definitely talk.
Thank you, Yanique. Bye-bye.
Bye. Anybody else have questions? Questions, comments, concerns, snide remarks? I am here for all of them. No?
I have a question for you, Yanique.
Yeah.
We use a contracted designer typically to do a lot of our work, not always the same one,
Mm-hmm.
but when you're creating an event brief and looking at all of the different collateral needed for, say, a 4-day learning conference,
Mm-hmm.
do you find that it's best for the designer to receive, a very detailed list? Is it a spreadsheet? Like as an event planner, spreadsheets are my life. I love them. So
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to determine, are we communicating the most effectively towards someone who is in a creative field? And I work with videographers, tons of creative minds. So just trying to see what might be the best way to communicate needs, deadlines, timelines, really kind of wrapping that creative brief all up into one document.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So this was a part of like the time management segment, right? Like you definitely want to create a sheet, a central repository that lists and identifies all the assets that are going to be needed for the event, and then list them in a way where you can show what's the primary priority. Like these are the things that have to get done first, these are the things that have to get done next, and that allows your designer, whether you're using one or two, hopefully they're communicating with each other and working in a collaborative way, whether you're using like contractors or in-house. But it sounds like you said you were using contractors.
Yeah.
Giving them a overall look at what they're actually going to execute allows them to tackle the look and feel from like a 1,000-foot view versus just like little piece by piece, and then the pieces don't actually work cohesively. So
Right.
absolutely, I would say that yes, giving them the full list so that they can have an idea of what the assets are and how the brand visuals are going to work together is definitely going to be beneficial for them.
Thank you.
It seems like we have a couple of stragglers jumping in here. We're actually at the end of the presentation, and right now we're on questions. So feel free. I know you didn't actually get to hear the presentation. I'm happy to send you guys the recording so you guys can like email me any questions that you might have. But right now we are asking questions related to graphic design and events. And I'm hoping that I can answer any questions that you guys may have. And no pressure, no pressure. Any other questions, anybody? All right, well, in that case, I'm gonna give you guys back 15 minutes. And feel free to check me out online, connect with me if you're not already connected with me. You can connect with me on the LinkedIn. I sound like my grandma, but that's where we are. Or on the other things, the Instagram, the Twitter, that stuff. I am Yanni Does Stuff because I do all kinds of stuff and craziness on the social platforms. And thank you so much for joining me today, guys. It was really a pleasure having you. And I look forward to seeing you at the next masterclass. Have a great day, guys. I feel like I should be playing like some outro music, like